Ready?
Thank you so much, Demi. Okay, we are now live. Good afternoon, everybody. You are all welcome to tonight's session. We're celebrating our Heritage Month. You are all beautiful. I've got one of our national symbols with me, which is the protea. So we want to say today, South Africa is great. We want to celebrate the land that God has blessed us with. So, you know, the land is addressed as a she. So we just want to say to her, South Africa, you are beautiful and we celebrate you. We're going to introduce our mother, Uma Munomafu, Deputy Minister, Sports, Arts and Culture. Mama, please take it away.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Tobeka. And good afternoon, everybody, our guests, and good afternoon as well to those that have connected to us to be part of the conversation. Happy Heritage Month, everybody. And those that have been following, they know that this month, 2020, despite all the challenges of COVID, we decided that the theme for this year is going to be celebrating our living human treasures. Because sometimes we wait until our people are no longer with us and then we celebrate them when they are not here. So we decided that this year we are celebrating them, and we actually lifted up 4 of those big icons that we must celebrate. Mama Esther Mahlangu, who most of you know with her painting, but Dorothy here is here representing her. We know how old Mama Mahlangu is, so it's gonna be very difficult for her, particularly these digital things. Mama Mahlangu will not be able to connect, but we have somebody who's representing her here. We've got Mama Katrina Esau. Those that don't know Mama Katrina, she is going to be able to speak the Kru language just now for you. She is one of the people that are left in this country that can still speak the language of that is still one of the first language in South Africa. She's from Northern Cape. The nice thing is that she's here with her granddaughter, Princess Claudia. So I thought it's important just first of all to make you aware that you are amongst very, very important people. And I also know, because they are going to introduce themselves just now, but we've got Claudia Shadapek from Spain. And Claudia is the unfortunately, she's here representing her husband, someone who the president even had to acknowledge. Unfortunately, he passed away. He's no longer with us, but a lot of photographers in South Africa come through his hands. So we will hear more about it. Even those that you guys know, you know, Peter Makubane, have been trained by Mr. Shadbeck. So we thought it's important to bring her in. She's connecting all the way from Spain. And of course, we have Nonhlanhla, who is an author, and we will hear more. I'm told that she, you know, me and authors, as the Deputy Minister of Sports, Arts and Culture, I love people that write, particularly Black people, because we don't put things in writing as South Africans. So we will speak to Nonhlanhla very soon. And Tobeka, I see Makosa has joined us. Lakduma has joined us, eh? Ngokolo.
He just joined us.
So he will have to tell me how come I don't have any attire from him at some point. But, but he will have to explain himself to me. But thank you very much for all the guests that are here. And Tobeka, I will then hand over to you to allow them to introduce themselves.
Thank you so much, ma'am. We would like now to introduce our Queen Mother. Queen Mother Katrina, you have been an icon of the new language, and we would like you to teach South Africans, to tell us more about the language and what legacy you want to leave. So please, Queen Mother, take the stage is yours.
Ayo.
Thank you so much, Princess Claudia. Could you kindly translate what Mama has been saying so that our viewers will understand what Mama was saying?
Thank you. I'll ask my fellow colleague to just explain everything.
Hi, everyone. It's a great honor. My name is Crawford, and I'm the deputy chair of the Royal House under Queen Katrina Eso. What she's saying today for South African and the rest of the world, that in terms of a language, she really wants everyone to speak this language. Because this language, like any other language, because this is part of a dignity, a humanity, is something that she really, in terms of the language kept her alive, spiritually and emotionally. And if anyone, because it's a very spiritual thing, is anyone should connect with the spirit in terms of the language from the religion which is coming up. But the emphasis is that she would really like this language to be alive in South Africa. And she really are grateful for the South African government under the leadership of President Ramaphosa for what the president for acknowledged the new language in South Africa. And she's very, very grateful because it's a mother tongue, it's a mother language, and she's proud to share it with her fellow South Africans. And she loves you and everyone in South Africa and in the world very much. She's grateful for the acknowledgement of the government and the Department of Sports and Recreation for acknowledging the language and the culture of the new language. She's very, very humble and grateful. Thank you.
Ayo.
Thank you very
Mama,
much.
take it away.
Thank you very much, Tobeka. You will remember in 2019, when we were celebrating the Heritage Day, we were in Northern Cape, we were in Uppington, particularly because that year the theme was about the indigenous language. And Queen Katrina was the center of that celebration. That's why we took it to Northern Cape, because we wanted, amongst other things, to remind people about the new language. And the president was very, honored to have been in the company of Queen Katrina. I know the president was trying every time to say, Queen, can you speak? And then the president would try to speak what Queen Katrina was speaking. So thank you very much for for being here with us. And I was there myself and I was working with her. But now remember, the media is only looking for her. They don't want to talk to me. They want to talk to Queen Katrina because they are just so, you know, honored about this language. So thank you very much for taking time to join us. We really appreciate. Thank you very much. Tobeka, the next guest.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, ma'am. Gogo, we will invite Sis Kwezi to relate and talk to us about the legacy yakamamo Esther Mahlangu, how she met umamo Esther Mahlangu, ugogo Esther, abaninzi bati ugogo Esther. So to us, ugogo umama, Sis Kwezi, kindly therefore usixoxele ukuthi ugogo uhlangane naye kanjani, wasebenza naye, umsebenzi wenu emhlabeni wonke nenze ini nani. I know ukuthi some of the companies that are using trade yenu is BMW, and last year I attended Nissan when they launched their new bike with trademark yesindebele. So ngicela usixoxele ke sisi wami ukuthi isisuka kuphi nesintu sethu esindebeleni.
Ngiyathokoza ma igama lami ngingigwezi ngokwamasango, nginguphondo libovu udumako namkha lingakahlabile lihlabile umsila uGwezi ukhulele ngaphasi kwesandla sakagogo in the age of 5 years, that was 1988. Ugogo wezekhaya wazongibawa bona angifundise namkha asifundise ukugwala. Sikhulele lapho ngiye ngisesemncane khulu, kimi bengisesemuntu odlalako osesendleleni. Mara isandla sakagogo sagcina khulu. Ukukhula kwami ngaphasi kogogo kwenze ukuthi ngifunde okuningi. Okukhulu ebekasifundisa khona kukobana sikwazi ukugwala. Usifundisile-ke ugogo from ngeminyaka ka-1998, ngonyaka ka-1988 bekusimaklasi wakhe wokuthoma. Nangikhumbula kuhle besibentazana abalisumi. Emva kwalokho-ke ananda sithatha sikhambe na ama-show. I-show yokuthoma esayikhamba nogogo kwakuKwaMhlanga show eyenzeka KwaMhlanga okungaphasi kweNkangala district eMpumalanga. Kwakungiyi-show yethu besithoma ukuyikhamba nogogo. Kula safunda khona bona umgwalo lo abantu bawuthanda kangangani ababuya emazweni. Kwasuka lapho ugogo waba nethemba kithi, sakhamba wasa eKenya. Kwakunginyaka ka-1997. Ukufika kithi eKenya bebajabulile, babona amakhalazi amahle, utsho ukuthini umgwalo, ivunulo lethu lisho ukuthini. Kwasuka lapho-ke ugogo ananda khamba nathi kuma-exhibition ahlukahlukeneko. Ngoba ukusuka kwakagogo wathoma eButhabelo. Wathi nakasuka eButhabelo kwaba namakhuwa eza azomfuna ngoba athande isandla sakagogo nemibala yemigwalo egqamileko emihle begodi eyenza ukuthi abantu bakareke isizwe sekhaya eSewula Afrika nangaphandle inarha zombelele. Ugogo kwaba kulabala athi angifundise abantwana bekhaya nabantwana bangaphandle into le ngingayivaleli mina kuphela kube yinto yangikhaya. Ukuthatha kwakhe ugogo athome iklasi lakhe ekhaya, sifundele ngaphasi komthunzi, kube ukuthi ilanga liyaphuma liyatjhinga. Tot la sokuvelela khona eGalaga Estate la kuba khona nama-exhibition until gogo azangivumela ukuthi you can go your own exhibition alone or ama-competition uwedwa. Kwaba kuya kwami ku-competition eyayise-Cape Town. Ngathumba-ke lapho-ke nangiqeda ukuthumba they sent me to Italy. After Italy I went to Switzerland. Njengoba nibona ugogo avelelela lapha agwale khona imigwalo yemodere, imigwalo yamabhodlela yamawayini ngokuhlukahlukana namabota. Okhunye okugwaliweko recently kuyindawo ye-Market Theatre egwale ngaphambi konyaka odlulileko. That was 2019.
Thank you very much, Kwezi. Just to put everybody into speed, she has been under the hand of Mamo Esther Mahlangu since the age of 8. She is now herself a very developed and established painter. She's doing exactly what Mam Esther Mahlangu is doing. She taught her, they were about 8 of them, and she now is even doing it on her own. She's been to exhibition on her own. She's been out of the country. She's been to Italy. And the important thing about, I think what Kwezi is saying is that culture by its nature is taught from generations to generations. And if we are not able to give it over to other generations, it dies. And what Mam Esther Mahlangu has done, she took young girls and she trained them, she groomed them. And we know now that even if Lord decide to take Mamu Esther, but you are not going to lose the Ndebele painting that she has been doing, because she has managed to actually train young people to do it. Thank you very much, baby girl. And we appreciate the, I hope that when everything is done, you will send me mine in my office. I can see you look beautiful. Thank you very much. Yeah, Tobeka, the next guest.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Siyabonga Sis Kwezi. Our next guest is Mamu Claudia Shadabek. Before she takes over, we're going to play a slideshow of the late Yagen Shadabek's photos and a brief intro. I am one of Yagen Shadabek's mentees. It was in 1999, and yeah, so I am the photographer that I am today because of his teachings, and I may his soul rest in peace. Right now, we're just gonna go through his work. He wrote books, or he published books, and one of the photos that he took, it's the 1955 Women's March photo, and also took some of the pictures during the treason trial, as well as one of the pictures from the Robben Island after the our late President Utatu Nelson Mandela went to revisit Robben Island and herself. So kindly watch the next slideshow. Okay. Okay, Claudia.
Hello.
Okay, kindly, I think we've got some small glitches. Kindly take the podium, and then as soon as you finish, you will replay. Please unmute, Claudia.
Yes, okay, you can hear me, right?
Yeah.
Thank you very much for inviting me. I think Heritage Month is extremely important. It is very important to remember one's heritage, and what Jürgen tried to do was to document a lot of this heritage so it would never be lost. And he did this by starting in 1951 when he first photographed Nelson Mandela, at the ANC Bloemfontein conference. And then 1952 in his law office and at the Defiance campaign. He documented a lot of the Defiance campaign, which was a very important event. And he then documented quite a bit of the treason trial, the Sharpeville funeral. These were some of the events that he highlighted in the 50s, but not only that, we did some documentary films which highlighted and he photographed the jazz scene, which was extremely important in the struggle because the music kept a lot of the spirit alive, as far as, you know, as we think. It's amazing jazz. For example, Dolly Rateba, we filmed and photographed many times. A lot of the great jazz, and Temi Pelisi. We did a book actually called Jazz, Swing and Blues over 6 decades, and about 130 jazz greats, singers, musicians. Unfortunately, the book is out of print, so if anybody wants to print it again, they're welcome. But we felt it was very important to document all these people, many of whom are not known and have been lost and not remembered. So one of the other things we thought would be a project I thought would work very well would be in the Newtown precinct with all the roads like in Temi Peliso Road, Miriam Makeba Street. We could have a blow-up picture of one of Jürgen's on the street, so people, it would bring to life these people who were so instrumental in contributing to the great heritage, music heritage, political heritage, cultural heritage of South Africa. So I think the more one can do, the better, and the more the younger people can appreciate the talents of those who are no longer with us.
Thank you very much, Aunt Claudia. And I really want to take this opportunity to appreciate the work that has been done by Uncle Jürgen.
Thank you.
Because some of us might not have had the opportunity to learn and know what had happened before we were here. My favorite picture of him, of course, is the picture that he took in 1956 March in Pretoria, when he managed to take the leadership of across the color line, the people that were leading that march. And for me, he was very intentional about the work that he was doing. And that's my favorite picture as well. He was very intentional about the work that he was doing, because his work was more about making sure that, you know, generations to come will know what has happened in South Africa. And thank you very much for, even when you are very far away in Spain, you took time and you said you will connect with us. We really, really appreciate.
As
I've said to you before, when I come there to Spain, because you know Spain is a sporting country, and therefore there's a lot of work that we do with them. I will look out for you.
Yes.
And I will come and have coffee there.
Very good.
But thank you very much. You must always know that as South Africans, we really appreciate the work that has been done by Uncle Jürgen, and we cannot thank him enough. And he couldn't have done this work if you were not supporting him. So we want to really thank you, the Shutterback family, for the work that you have done. Thank you. And we don't take for granted the people that we have mentored, the people that we have trained to be photographers. And some of them we don't know, some of them we know. Everybody knows Peter Makubane, but people don't know who taught Peter Makubane to be a photographer. This is the family that has taught Peter Makubane to be the photographer. Thank you very much, Claudia. Rebecca.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Our next guest is a thorn among the rose. Budi,
Hi,
would like
Sister
to
Bega.
the founder Wemaxhosa Africa Fashion Range. Would you kindly take the podium?
Molweni nonke, ngithanda ukubulisa kumama uMafu.
Molo bhuti wam. Uvila ndithe bhuti ne? Ndithe bhuti.
Greetings, Claudia, all the way from Spain. And umamu Princess Claudia Sinman. And ndibulisa nakuwe Sis Dorothea. Happy last days of Heritage Month. It is my privilege to be here with all of you on the tail end of Heritage Month. I've been celebrating the whole month and going around the country to mix with other cultures, you know, and embrace other cultures. I always introduce myself as if no one knows me. My name is Laduma, not the soccer Laduma, but in full it's Laduma igama lamambondo. In English, was to make the name of the Mbondo clan prominent. Of my mother, who was a creative, and my grandfather was an artist. I had the privilege when I was 15 years old, taught how to hand machine, knit, and also do beadwork and various other craft. But unfortunately, my late mother passed away when I was 15 years old. I then studied textile design and art in high school and did 4 years of textile design in high school. And then in 2010, that is 10 years ago, I did my thesis project at the Nelson Mandela University and decided to base my thesis project on a gap that I saw in the market of our cultural practice that is called Xhosa initiation. As you might know, we, the Xhosa people, we go through manhood circumcision every 6 months, and before boys join that ritual, they have to give away all their belongings, and our parents have to buy us a whole new wardrobe and give us a new bed, a new fridge, as a sign of a send off to depart on your journey to manhood, and as a send off for your family to not be a responsibility of them. That happens in the age of 18. It is a beautiful culture to watch and very elegant and sophisticated. We spend a month in the forest and then without women allowed. And then when we are back, we are prescribed to wear very formal clothes, but premium quality clothes. That is your jerseys, your shirts, hunter caps, jackets, formal pants, and good quality shoes. Of course, growing up in a previously apartheid system, none of the brands that are in the market are actually cultural or Black-owned brands. So therefore, any cultural or heritage reference that you see on those clothes would favor the Western sort of style. As a person who grew up designing clothes, I wanted to change all of that and come up with clothes that that have a cultural connotation. So I thought of an idea of taking Xhosa beadwork, which are from the 1800s and the 1900s, and reference those patterns and colors to create modern patterns for these jerseys. Fast track till today, the business case became successful and grew bigger and bigger every year, to a point where we're standing right now. We have I'm zooming from my factory. We employ about plus minus 40 people here. And then we have a high-end boutique store at the Mall of Africa and a high-end boutique store at the V&A waterfront in Cape Town, next to prominent brands such as Montblanc, Gucci, and Louis Vuitton. Basically, we wanted to change the African narrative when it comes to fashion and design, and create a new language for African luxury. And goes.
Thank you very much, Laduma. I want to tell you that when it started, I wasn't sure that it will go as big as it has. But you have grown, you've done very, very well. And I was telling Tobeka just before we started that I always feel when I am at work in Parliament, there's two people that always wear your brand, by the way. Sis Lindy Zulu there. So I always find, yes, and Sisnosiviwe Ngakula. So we always ask Sisnosiviwe Ndobana, you are old, why are you wearing this brand? Because this brand is supposed to be for us. So I'm just saying to you, anytime everybody is wearing your brand, you know, she stands out, she becomes or he becomes a center of attraction. Your brands are just out of this world. And I was just recently, I attended the sports awards somewhere in 4 ways, and there was a girl there from Momentum, Ntokozo. She was wearing your long dress, you know, jersey. And I said to her, I want this. Beautiful, beautiful. She wore it as an evening dress. So the nice thing about your things is that you can wear them in any event. They fit in. I've seen people wearing some of your clothes in traditional events, and it's where they want to be seen as if now we are the people. So I'm just saying, those are because they are beautiful. So I can't be the only one that doesn't have. So I was saying, I can't wait to go to Cape Town so that I can then be able to go to your store at the V&A waterfront and do some shopping. So I told Lindy, next time we're going shopping together. But I must say, you really have put the South African in the map with your designs. They are just out of this world. And you've done very well, Aduma. So thank you very much. I know you started little, and I don't even think you yourself knew that it will be as big as this. And it's still the beginning. You're still going far. So thank you very much. Remember, clothes are part of our heritage, are part of our culture, and you've modernized them into understanding that they are not just about being worn, you know, in traditionally only, but you can wear them even in events that are known as Western and stand out on them. Thank you very much. You've done very, very well. So I want my own. So, but I'll be coming to V&A because I'll be in Cape Town in 2 weeks' time.
Definitely.
Thank you. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Tabeka, over to you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Our next speaker, Sis Nonhlanhla Msibi. She's an author, writer, producer, and a director. Sis Nonhlanhla, she's on a journey, book drive, which is called New York Film Academy College of Visual and Performing Arts, Sis Nonhlanhla, please tell us about your journey to the academy and this book drive. Why this book drive? So take us take us through your break on this scholarship or program that you have won and the book drive. The stage is yours.
Thank you, Sister Vega. Mbulisa nami Mama Nokpawe, and an honor to meet. Yeah, I really do appreciate the opportunity and observe a Yonki protocol as well in the house. Sure. So basically, what happened was I'm a writer at the moment by profession, but my background is in finance. So I studied finance. However, I left the bank and joined the arts space. So I started off about 7 years ago, where I started Soweto TV and worked my way out, did a bit of radio, worked at Metro FM producing a show there. Then in Unati the Breakfast, and then from that on I did another show for SABC One, and at the same time I was freelancing for Email and Guardian. I then sort of like grew as the writing muscle from Ingati, because at that time what had happened was I'd written one book, Life Changes. I'm not sure if I can actually pull up some of these things. Let me see if am I gonna be able to share my screen. So I wrote and published the first book, and that's why I was asking Sister Vega as to how much time I have, because now I'm a storyteller, so I'm like, oh my God, I hope not to put people to sleep here, but that's why I prefer to talk in visuals, because I find that they then make life a little bit easier. But basically, I then started writing books in 2010, and after I published the first book, I had Mamu Habe at that time who took it and tried to get me interviews, and that's how the journey really began, because from that first book, and then I wrote 3 more books, then I started doing my book launches, and I launched, let's see again, and I launched all over. I'm a book launch, I'm Gubangati conference. A bit frustrated that I'm unable to share this screen, because it's it would make my life easier in a way that I'm gonna try something. So from writing books, which I've launched every year, you know, I do 4 books at 24, 5 books at 25, and different genres, really, from poetry to biographies to, you know, short stories, and novels as well. In fact, I'm interpreting some of the novels that I write now into Ilon Tunja, oh, there we go. Yay, there we go. I'm coming all right. So these are some of the books. I'm not sure if you can see the screen.
We can.
Okay, cool. So these are the books. That was the first book that I spoke about, poetry, which I published in London. I've never been to the UK, but that's the book that I wrote. And then that was the life story one. And then I wrote the 3rd book, which was the first short story of a friend who had survived colon cancer. And hence I got Mam Lillian Dube to do the foreword for that. And book 5 is a motivational poetry. I wrote that when I left the bank. And this is basically what happens at the book launches. I do the 4 books at 24 years. This was in 2013. It was adopted by Urax Siako. You probably know him. He's in the literacy space. And they launched me under the 4 books at 24 in Museum Africa, under a book club. I'm sure Umama would know because she's the reader. And then the books that I write really are for all genres, you know, so from local, from non-fiction all the way to psychology. And the psychology one would be the one on relationships, where Inumamu India as well gave in a forward for that, the good woman meant but not a great partner. And I've got a lot of people whom I've included as well when I wrote this book in 2014, you know, the likes of Mami Von Chaka Chaka. Actually, in her office, I was talking about you, Deputy Minister, to say that we've got you in the house. It's like, you know, and from that on, I moved on to so that was the 5 books at 25 years launch, and the launches are always like conferences. You know, I've got a lineup of speakers. It's always crazy at the launches, and I had book 6, Township to City. Once again, also launched that in 2015 with a lineup of speakers, and this was book 7. Book 7, actually, I was also fortunate to get, at that time, she was also our Deputy Minister of Comms, Mam Stella Ndabeni, to do the foreword for the book, as well as with Dr. Matthews Posa, who inked the poem of that book. It's a book that which I'll translate into a movie. And that is the book, yes, the short story, A Praise Breadwinner, which is a novel. And from that novel, which we also gonna film into a script, that was book 7 in 2016. I then moved from that to book 8, which is Triumph of Forgotten Days. And I got to Namklope to do the foreword for that one, you know, for short stories. And it's a book which I'm pushing to get into high schools. Book 8, that was the launch, and I also translated that into theatrical style. So I had people acting out. You know, I took the book content and I translated it into a stage theater script, and I got people to act the stories out. This year, I'm going to be launching 11 books at the age of 31. And book 9 is a documentary series book. So it's a book which is titled 44 Young Leaders, in commemoration to 44 years since 1976. And what I've done here was I've brought together a couple of leaders, known and unknown, you know, young people who are under the age of 44, who have done so well. The book was also adopted by SAFM, as well as the Market Theatre, because they also said that they're turning 44. So they were opening their doors, as well as in Nalibali, you know, wherein I've mixed our leaders, from our political leaders to, you know, our engineers to our lawyers. So I just didn't make it a media thing, but, you know, all fields across. And book 10 is a book that which I'm going to be translating into a digital platform as well. It's titled, it's a book of codes across all the books that which I've written. And I will also be launching book 11, which is going to be a short novel of a story. It's going to be my book this time around. I'm not going to ghostwrite, but it's a story of a known businessman, Mr. Sandile Zungu from Business Council, who lost, you know, his wife through cancer. So I'll be telling that story, but in a novel way. In fact, by the way, Sister Vega, he has agreed to assist me with the school thing, you know, to try and put a hand to say, okay, you know, the first semester will be sorted. So there's hope for this journey of
Wow.
Of raising funds. And I also do ghostwriting. So what I started doing was to bring in, you know, to work with other people. You may know Umamkoni Ngosi, who was the first Black woman to get an MBA. I wrote her book in business as well. I've done one as well with Uvuyo, and another one with Ubabu Murapedi. In fact, Ubabu Murapedi taught our current president, Ramaphosa. He died earlier this year. He's such an academic legend. So I also ghostwrite other people's books wherein my name will not be there, but I would have told their stories, or I would have written their stories. I also was freelancing for Mail and Guardian. So this is just a different writing caps and the writing journey in a nutshell. And I also do booklets. You know, this was me trying my hand in when Umami Von as well just said, you know, you always write these things. Let's try and see what we can do with the awards. So when we're doing the BVSM awards, even this year's one, you know, would always have the booklets that which I would have put together. I also do magazines, I also do newsletters, started off at APSA. Also worked with the Universal, wherein I'm writing the information that goes inside the CD sleeves of artists, and the message there too. TV scripts, I've mentioned this, that I've worked my way from Soweto TV to SABC, same with radio, from Metro all the way, Power FM and Massive. My previous background is in advertising as well, wherein I was with Ogilvy. I also scripted the National Teachers Awards, the National Teaching Awards, that which happen annually. And that's when I was also fortunate to meet Ume Enji Motsecha. I'm not gonna play the video clips for the sake of time, but I've just put in, it's just a video of Ulian Manas, who's our SABC anchor, you know, reading my auto cue. So just for me to try and run quickly, I'll not play the video. I also do speech writing. So when Uba Bodlos and Zimande was being honored at DUT, you know, with a doctorate, I wrote the speech for him. Then jumped into story writing. So previously I was writing for Isibaya. I worked on seasons 6 and 7 and moved from that production and joined the story room, Say the River, and all the way to currently I'm writing Ilo Ikomora, which is one of our local soapies as well. I've mentioned that I'm translating some of these books into movies. I also write movies from Zazi Magic. I've also done work with the Department of Basic Education, wherein I translated a manual that they had to move teachers away from chalk to the digital space. And I filmed that just to say, let's save you time instead of you going to provinces to teach teachers how to move away from chalk to digital. That how about we film it and, you know, people just play a video of that. I've also produced one of the shows, which was currently on Zazi, and got honored by the University of Pretoria alongside Ntate Sidibe a couple of years ago, and was also honored by my own university this year. They turned 60. I studied Ongoye at some point, and it's a long journey. The dream is for me to go and study for 2 years in Jan 2021 all the way until 2023. It's going to be in Los Angeles, so that is California, which is quite expensive. But that's what I'm working towards with the project, and had a meeting earlier as well this morning with Dr. Mlambo, who's also going to be assisting the office, and we're also spreading the word in different media houses the best way possible, just to help keep the dream alive. In a nutshell, the book drive, wherein we are taking orders for people to buy my packages. I'm selling them at about 1,185, wherein you get all the 8 books that which I mentioned, and posted to you if you're outside Joburg. Thank you, sis.
Thank you very much, Nhlanhla. I know that we at some point we were cut off and then we came back, but we didn't miss much. Thank you so much. I love the fact that you didn't put yourself into a box and just do one thing. You are doing everything that has got to do with writing. It doesn't matter whether it's CD sleeves, whether it's film, whether it's books. You are a writer, therefore I can write anything. I love that. And thank you very much, because one of the things about young people, and I love it now that at least we're starting to be coming closer to being the writers in SA, but there was a time that we didn't have Black writers, authors. So I'm happy about the work that you're doing. And unfortunately, I'm traveling tomorrow, but I'll be back. So you will deliver the package to my house. You said it's 1,080. So you will deliver. Tobeka will give you the details. You can even deliver it to my office. It will be easier that way in Pretoria. But it's important that we must support. There was one author I was telling Tobeka that normally on social media will always be advertising his book. So I bought 5 of his books. I just followed him and I said, can you deliver 5 books? He just couldn't believe. But I think the important thing is that we need to make sure that we motivate you guys. We make sure that, that even you might think that we don't notice what you're doing, but we really appreciate. And remember, storytelling and story writing is part of our heritage and is part of our culture. Thank you very much. Tabeka, over to you.
Thank you, ma'am. Our last speaker before we go to the round 2 is Princess Claudia. Princess Claudia, tell us about your journey with Queen Mother Katrina and what is it that we have learned from her?
Hello. Yeah, I'm going to speak Afrikaans. I can express me more in Afrikaans. It's my home language, so I hope everyone is fine with that. All I ask my brother to translate for you when I'm done. Okay. Yes. Ja, ek is ouma Katrina se kleindogter. Ons kom al 'n lang pad saam aan. I was in grade, I think grade 3 when I started to learn the language. Die taal is baie swaar, die Nguni-taal wat ons aanbied is baie swaar, maar
yeah, it's a very difficult language.
No, ek verstaan. Don't worry about the others, ek verstaan.
Okay.
I'm joking. I think finish and then he can summarize, your brother. Don't worry. Okay. I'm just pulling their leg. Continue, Princess Claudia. You verstaan. You see that? Ons is hier in South Africa. Ons verstaan.
Okay.
You can continue, Princess.
Ek was baie klein toe ek die taal begin leer. My ouma kon nie die taal gepraat het toe sy jonk was nie. En so haar kinders het nie die taal, hulle ken nie die taal nie. En sy het ook amper die taal vergeet want sy kon dit nie gepraat nie want in 'n paar jare mag hulle nie taal gepraat het nie. So dit was 'n bietjie 'n challenge geweest, maar so het ek uit die navorsers gekom en vir hulle 'n bietjie kom ondervra oor die Nguni-taal. En so het die Nguni-sprekers begin uitgekom. Hulle het die Nguni-sprekers opgespoor en so het hulle begin die taal gepraat en weer die taal revive. Maar toe kom er 'n dokter Lefi namens 'n linguist van Namibia en Appington toe om vir ons te wys hoe word die taal geskryf, gelees en hoe leer jy die basics van die taal. En so het ek begin belangstel om die taal te leer, te skryf en 'n bietjie te praat. Not kwang, but not a lot. Just the basics. En ek kan 'n bietjie groet in Nguni-taal, hondjie.
Yeah.
Kan ek sê, "Raket kawa, as hoe gaan dit?" Jou reply moet wees nat kawa, dit gaan goed. Dan kan ek 'n bietjie water vra, dit gaan. En Anna Precious gee vir my brood en Anna Aitjies gee vir my kos. Ja, en so het ons ook 'n skooltjie begin in 2003. Dus 'n Nguni-taal skool begin waar ons die kinders leer vir 2 ure om die basics van die taal te leer. Want dit is vir my ouma baie belangrik om haar taal lewend te hou en dit is vir my ook baie belangrik om my ouma gelukkig te sien. Want as sy kan haar taal in boeke sien op televisie en as jy miskien 'n deur moet oopstoot en dan kan jy miskien op 'n Nguni woord kan daar staan en kan jy ook om haar taal te sien, straatname en al daai. Dis my baie belangrik om haar taal te laat leef. Want jou taal is jou erfenis. My heritage is right. Nou sy leer ook vir ons 'n tradisie. Hoe om te wees wat in boesmantervisie aangaan. Maar die belangrikste is vir ons die taal. Want op die oomblik is dit net sy en haar broer wat nog die taal kan praat. So die taal is bedreig. So ons gaan enige iets doen om die taal weer aan die lewe te kry en aan die lewe te hou. En ons vra ook, ek vra nou my mede-kollegas hier op die groep, op die Zoom groep, om my te help en my ouma te help om ons taal te red. En ek, wat is die mense name nou voor ons praat? The author, I want to ask the author, please help us to write more books and make movies. Soort ons die taal op die TV kry, die taal tong kry, die taal, laat die taal gesien, gehoor word en geleer word. So baie dankie ma'am, dat u vir ons die platform gegee het om 'n bietjie te praat oor ons taal en oor ons erfenis. Over to you, my brother.
So thanks so
No,
much.
thank you very much, Princess. Leave your brother. I can interpret.
Okay.
Thank you very much for that. I love the fact that you say language is your heritage. Your taal is your erfenis. Say that first. Yeah, it's first time. So thank you very much, because the important thing here is that Queen Katrina has made sure that at least her children and her grandchildren understand the language so that it doesn't die, even though she can't speak it well, but she's doing very well. You have heard when she said, I want water, and said, thank you, and she interpreted. The new language is very important, is one of the critical ones. And she says there was a professor who came from Namibia, who then came to teach them on how to write it and to make sure that at least it doesn't die. And now they are teaching the language for 2 hours in some schools so that at least the children can. And you see, I understood, Princess Claudia. I understood. So they are teaching the children for 2 hours, and then she's calling out on Nontlantla that at some point, Nontlantla, you must see what you can do about this language as an author, and make sure that at least it's on TV, it's on screens, and all that. Brur, you can add, but I think I've summarized more or less.
No, thanks, Deputy Minister. So, on behalf of the language, there's a lot of other indigenous knowledge and knowledge systems that we think that can attribute to the South African government, the economy of the country, in terms of heritage, the language, the indigenous plants, the different varieties of plants like Yehudia, plants is a rare, healthy plant that you get in the Kalahari. That's when you can make it over in a drink to get healthy. And then there's in terms of the art and craft. So and the language and the tradition, there's a lot that the Oma Katrina and the language can contribute towards the South African government and towards art and craft and tourism in the ZF district, in South Africa and in the Northern Cape. And on the other side, it's like, if you go to the geographic understanding of the Northern Cape, is a very impoverished, although it's very rich in culture. So the plea is also, in terms of this, we believe as young people, of young men, in terms of the heritage and what Oma Katrina is doing, in a humble opinion, she can revive so much. And she's a real inspiration for all of us to say, how best can we try to contribute in terms of helping from a traditional point of way, helping to try and the socio-economic development for our people, young people, to be getting involved in business and business opportunities in various of sectors. And these are untapped resources and opportunities that still lying vast there, it's never been touched. And it can be a great inspiration and operation and that can help with transformation and job creation. But I think now that the government has come across and assisting Queen Katrina, there's a lot of hope and inspiration from the whole of the communities around Uppington. And everyone is looking at her as the symbol of hope who said if she get the real assistance, a lot of young people will be motivated and inspired through the knowledge systems which is there. Even with the corona, we believe there's some plants that we can research through the universities that's still sitting there, never been touched yet. And then what I'm trying to say, there's a lot of, in terms of the art and the crafts and the traditions that the Khoi and San people can contribute to the South African government. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Putram. I think you understood that. And we had at the call about more research and assistance. Queen Katrina is someone that is very close to my heart. I must learn a few of those words, Princess Claudia. You must teach me a little bit of that new language. So that when I come to Uppington, yes, when I come to Uppington, they must see me as, yeah, I guess here. Yeah, I first stand a little bit of more. Thank you. Now, I just want to ask Kwezi, what Umama Mahlangu akufundise kona, what she has taught you, and what you are doing right now in terms of what you say is umkwalo, which is the painting. I know umkwalo is the Ndebele word for what you're doing. Are you making a living out of it? Or is there something else that you are doing? Maybe tell us more about that. Are you making a living out of what Mamu Esther Mahlangu has taught you?
Ngiyathokoza, Deputy Minister. Ipilo ikhona ekugwaleni. Ukwezi full time uyasebenza ku Department of Culture, Sports and Recreation kwaMhlanga. Nakufika isikhathi sokuthi ngenze izinto zobukhwari ma weekend nangesikhathi sami esingezelelweko sokuchayisa ngenza izinto zokugwala. Ngisasebenza nogogo full time, ngisesengaphasi kwesandla sakagogo. Nanoma ugogo afuna mina mhlambi kunezinto kosangimenzele zona, uyafona angitshela ukuthi ngestate esong ngesikhathi esong ngibawa ungihelebhe lapha nalapha. Ipilo ikhona, kuyaphileka, kuyahlaleka, kuyadleka. Ngoba ngaphasi kokugwala khona asifundi khona kuphela ukugwala, ukufundisa nelimo, ukuthobela ilimo ukuthi ilimi inkosi asiliberegise njani, negido lesiNdebele, nevunulo esiNdebeleni. Usifundisa izinto eziningi, akuhlangani ukugwala kuphela, mara in umbrella function khulukhulu ugogo udila ngeNdebele painting, ngaphakathi apromote khulu i-culture, apromote khulu i-indigenous language okusiNdebele. Usesenami ma?
Oh. Hello, Kwezi.
Hi, Mami.
Okay, I think umama ithi uzobuye ngathi sim.
Khathekile somewhere.
Hello, ma'am. Ngathi ukhathekile. Ithi uzobuya connect futhi. No sis. Ma'am. Yeah, ukhathekile. All right, uzobuya futhi. Kodwa ke bengisacela ukuthi ubuye uqhubeke usitshele about the school that you, as Umam Esther has taught you, are you planning your to have a school to teach youth around KwaNdebele or around Mpumalanga? So are there any plans of having a school that will be also illegacy yakamama?
Angeke ngenelele khulu endabeni yesikolo. Ikhona iplan yesikolo ehlongozwa namkha engaphasi kwesigaba se-National Arts and Culture. Ngingazibona ikhambe kangangani ukufika kuphi. Ongazi khulu ngumanager wakagogo namkha uDr. Esther Mahlangu. Kunesihlongozo sesikolo esizokwenzeka, sikhona esizokuba khona istructure at any time. Okwanje sisaberegisa indawo namkha ibandla la besiberegisa khona kwakadeni nengihodlo sigwalela lapho until ugogo azabe ne-finishing structure le ehlongozwako namkha eku-pipeline. Angeke ngize ngiphendule khulu, I'm not sitting on the committee of that. So it's there, the plan is there, the structure is there. It's all about implementation and ama supporters or sponsors and etc. I-legacy kagogo sifuna ukuthi ihlale namhlanje nakusasa naphambi kwakusasa ibe khona. Sikhona thina abasifundisileko, abasesekhona, abasesebatsha. Sifuna nokufundisa abanye nezinye intjhaba nanyana ubuya emazulwini, emaqhozeni, overseas. Nawufikileko uzokubawa irhelebho lokwazi lokhu kokwesiNdebele. Sifuna ukunifundisa bese nikwazi. Nazi ukuthi nakusasa koNdebele siberega sinje, sivunula sinje, kukhulunywa ilimu elinje. Kuze konke lokho kungalahleki, kungavaleleki amasiko ethu ngaphandle. Ilimi lilaziwe ngomunye nomunye umuntu.
Okay, siyabonga. I would just like to update everyone what Ugwezi was saying. There are plans of having a school, and though she does not have much details as she's not in the committee, but definitely the aim and the plan is for every generation to be able to know and understand the Isindebele tradition and all other ethnic groups to be celebrated in their culture. Thank you so much, Siskwezi. Now we're going to, in fact, Siskwezi, ngicela uvele uround up because ngeke sisabuya kuwe uvele okay. Uzo round up, and then the last time masibuya nje uyavalelisa kuphela kubalaleli.
Ngiyathokoza Sesithobeka. Ngibawa ukutsho ukuthi esichabeni sonke sakwaNdebele, isichabula sonke seSouth Africa, sibabantu asizazi imvelaphi yethu, sazi isiko lethu, sihloniphe, sazi omdala nomncane, sikwazi ukuthi insuku zethu amalanga ethu wokuphila akwazi ukwanda. Nawazi isiko lakho angekho ukhohle bona ubuyaphi emva. Ukwazi kwami ukugwala, angizilibali bona mina ngingubani, angizilibali bona ngibelethwa ngubani, nanyana ngiyaphi. Konke nethi kulindwe isikhathi nokuthi kwenzeke. Ezandleni zami kusele bona ngifundisa abani lokho ugogo anginikele khona ngikusaba.
Siyabonga siswam. Also, I'd like to translate this. She is saying to every South African, know who you are, know your roots, so that you will live longer. So as we know that respect and honor those that are old, or honor your parents, as the Bible says. So we thank you so much, Sis Kwezi. We definitely know that people will honor their tradition and know definitely who they are. Thank you so much. And now, Sizocela Ubhuti Laduma, take us back to, in fact, I would like you to talk about the launch, your launch year 2021 fashion range. I like the song. I like the entire artwork that you did on celebrating the land, on celebrating the beauty of, I saw the mountains that you used in your jingle. There are two mountains in Eastern Cape, and we Sikula Nogunguti Ezo mountains are called Amabelendombi. So that is a beautiful footage. So kindly tell us about the 2021 fashion range launch and what inspired you to have the jingle. I actually fell in love with it.
Okay, so our 2020 summer collection was something that we had to do different compared to what we usually do every year. So this time around, we had to do a fashion show virtually, and Sibonise as well through the New York Fashion Week platform. Last year we did it, and we got good results out of it. But of course, this year couldn't go out to New York again to do another show. We set up a studio with rooftop where we have our factory and our offices. So the name of that collection is called Ingumangaliso imisebenzi kaThixo, which means in English, God's work is miraculous. reason why we went for that theme is that through what we have been this year, during lockdown and whatnot, the things that we appreciated the most is the nature that is around us that was difficult to access, and people longed for traveling, and a lot of us actually missed the simplest things in life, and of which is I think that as a human race, we took those things for granted. The song title is actually from a song that my grandfather, by the name of Mike Ngolo, wrote. I think it was somewhere in the 80s, but I got the privilege to go and collect a Lifetime Achievement Award at a choral music event in Port Elizabeth about 8 years ago. So he also was a school principal. He was also an artist. He used to paint with the late George Pemper, and he was a sculptor as well. And he was also a TV presenter with choral music program, which we used to play on SABC2. He was also an actor, so he was a man of many talents. In fact, when I was doing music school, he was part of the curriculum, and I used to learn about him, and I got to actually curriculum in high school. So the collection was obviously for summer, very colorful presentation. In fact, I'm even tempted to actually show the images of it.
Please do.
Unotlanhla has inspired me to be visual now.
Yeah, please do. Whilst you are
So let me try to pull them up.
I can sing
Let me try to pull them up.
I can sing the song as you are busy sharing the screen. I
Oh.
know the song. I know the song your granddad that wrote. I sang that song at school.
Okay, brilliant. Brilliant. You're gonna sing it, and we're gonna do a fashion show right now. Okay, got them. There we go.
Wow.
This was basically how the collection looked like. So we wanted to create like a family sort of consolidation of human beings and create a happy feel of how summer and how hopeful summer is gonna look, and how colorful summer is gonna look, and just pretty much put smiles on people's faces. It wasn't a very easy collection to actually produce, because we were restricted by 50% capacity of our manufacturers and various other regulations that are in place, the COVID-19. But nevertheless, business had to continue. And in Artist City, make sure that we keep being focused, because in the day we already have 2 stores that are open. Mamumafu, since you are not singing the song, I'm gonna play it from my phone.
You can play, but I know the song. Ingumangaliso, imisebenzi kaThixo. Ingumangaliso, ingumangaliso, imisebenzi kaThixo. Makabongwe, Kabongwen, Kimi. Yeah, well, they asked, I know the song. You can play it there. You can play it now. And I sang that song. Matumise umsindisi. Amen.
That's all.
I love that song. I was in standard 9 when I sang that song. In a competition.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Before I got
So,
cut
yeah.
off, because now I'm on another device. I wanted to ask Laduma, what, with all the challenges of the COVID and the whole economy that is under stress right now, and the stats have just been removed. Stats SA have just released. We know that we're sitting close to 40% in unemployment, and you already have got 40 people in your business that you have employed. How is the economy? How has it affected your business?
I think first of all, for me personally, I looked at this time from a positive angle and a negative angle. Of course, it definitely meant that whatever that we had planned, we had to be conservative with it. But that didn't stop us from rolling out ambition yethu. So before lockdown happened, we did speak to all of our workers and explained to them how we were going to roll out. But what we promised them is to pay them 100% salaries. But before we closed, we already had a backlog of orders and also released a new collection. So as soon as we opened again on the 1st of May, we opened up our stores and online stores. We got so busy to a point where we had to employ 20 more people. So we also took 10 interns on top of the 20 people that we employed. And things are so busy right now, we will possibly employ other 20 people before we approach to December. This has been great. As complained, 24th of July, during level, I think it was level 3, we opened up a new store in the waterfront. So we can only thank Tito for the blessings that asibulele yona and hope that it will be of value to others more and more.
Thank you so much, Laduma, because as government, we try to make sure that we balance, saving lives and making sure that at least we sustain livelihoods. So it was a bit not easy for us to say people must stay at home when we said to you close shops, but we had to make sure that we manage the virus. We really want to appreciate the fact that you cooperated with us despite all that. And thank you very much. For me, that was an important question because it also talks to young people, young designers, people that are doing fashion design out there, that they can look at you and find, inspiration. That actually it might look dark, but there's always, light at the end of the tunnel. Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Okay. Tabeka, over to you.
Nkosi ma'am, thank you, Laduma. I am really inspired, and thank you again. Mama, he gave us the song as also as for our jingle. So thank you so much. And then Sis Nontandla, I think what I don't know if you want to say something and then you will also wrap. But before, I just want to add on what Princess Claudia was saying, that she would really appreciate that you do something on new language. So I am of the same view. So I think after this, we ought to sit down and see what can we do, be it a drama, be it a series, be it a movie, but what would be doable, or a documentary on the new language, and while Uma Katrina is still alive. So I would add on that. I don't know what is your take.
I'm available to collaborate and do whatever. In fact, it reminded me of a trip that I think it was 2017 when we were in Namibia with Umami von Chaka Chaka, and you know the Musevens where you and she had gone there, and I was like a wardrobe assistant / whatever just to be there. And I was told by the office that side was saying to me, Uti, if I could write in French or Portuguese, I would have, you know, had something with them. So it has been in the pipeline, you know, the fact that I need to try and see how can I branch into other languages and learn those languages, and also, you know, try and interpret even some of the work that which one does. I mean, Deputy Minister, if I may, also one of the books which I created that was launched by the Department of Arts and Culture about a week, 2 weeks or so ago, on Literacy Day, which are authored by Ntando Kunene, the former Miss SA.
Yes.
I was part of the people who created that story, for instance, you know. So for them to interpret that into other languages, 11, you know, it's like a big achievement. And from there on, it will then be easier to, you know, to move to other languages across in a way. So I would say, geez, I'm all for experiences. I mean, yeah, I look forward to the journey. And I think more than anything, this journey of mine, you know, reaching out for people to assist me, whether be it with a word of mouth, with a tweet, or with, you know, a sale on the book combo, has really been quite an inspirational one, because I look at even the meetings that I've had the past few days. Yesterday, I had one with Shoot and Shooters, you know, who distribute books to schools. And I've been trying to get my books to schools, you know, so to be in a platform with a publishing house that says, we can task you to write a book like this and this, and, you know, we take it to schools. I'm like, wow. So I'm going to be, you know, the next Masihambi Sane, whatever writer, you know, and also they're also talking about other languages. So it's really those opportunities that, you know, this book drive has enabled and opened for me. You know, this morning I was adopted by Dr. Mlambongu. I was like, you know, we want you to do this. We want to do work with you. You know, when I'm that side already, I already know that I have a home and a family, you know, under her wing. So it's humbling days for me. It's really humbling days for me.
Thanks, Nonhlanhla, because you see, the space you are in, what I love about you is that you are open to anything and to any opportunity, and which is going to make you grow, because you don't pick and choose what you want to do. And I love that about the space you are in, because look, language is one that, as the Department of Sport, Arts and Culture, we want to preserve, because as you know, United Nations had said we must preserve indigenous languages. And therefore, any work that you would be doing with them, I'm sure the department would come on board, because it's one area that we want to make sure that it doesn't die, because it's part of our heritage. Thank you so much. Thobeka, over to you.
Enkosi mem, uladuma seke
Sekefune inamba kaNonhlanhla ndimbonile.
I actually followed him on social media as well, talking as well. So it is asking. It's a mutual feeling in the house.
That's
we
good.
need to do something.
You will certainly have your number. So, Princess Claudia and Queen Mother Katrina, kindly say your last words. What do you want to say to our viewers? What is it that you want us to know that we did not ask, or that is in your heart that you want to share?
Mungkin in seketum aan die jong mense, aan die groot mense, laat hulle ook hierdie heritage geniet. Nie geniet om te met verkeerde dinge staan nie, maar om te geniet. Omdat heritage dat iets is wat vir jou leer vir jou goeie dinge. Wat praat oor jou goeie dinge, wat vir jou opmaak die dinge wat jy miskien vergeet is. En wat goed is. En wat mooi is. Daarvoor is ek bly en hy praat, hy lê klem op jou taal en op jou kultuur. Heritage is vir my 'n goeie iets. Ek is bly daaroor. Vir die nuwe taal wat geleer word. Vir die nuwe taal wat mense hoor. Hy was besig om dood te gaan. Hy was nie daar nie. Maar ek bly vir die navorsers wat so gekom het en my taal kom uitgegroei het. Ek moes my taal, ek moes mond gebly het. Al was dit heritage, ek kan nie sê nie, dis nou heritage, ons moet lekker praat nie. Nee, ek moet net stil bly, ek moet net Afrikaans praat. En met die wat ek ook net Afrikaans ken. Ek ken nie eens Engels nie. Nou, regtig, ek is baie bly. En soos ek nou sien, die heritage, as ek kan sê, so gebewerk, dat ek, heritage daar, kan ek ander mense ontmoet. En ek kan met ander mense praat. Maar daarom wil ek die wêreld sê, mense, los die wêreld se dinge. En ja, dank aan jou kultuur, dank aan jou erfenis. En gaan aan, gryp hom vas. En gaan aan. Weet ek is baie bly, want ek ontmoet mense. Mense wat met my praat. En wat ook praat oor my taal. Oh, my taal. Ek sê, ek is baie bly, ek is dankbaar. Naka ayong kwaking hui kwaking. Ek is bly daar. Ek is baie bly. Kwaking ama. Ang kahit aya. Au ke ngang kunuke. Kahit aya las weg my goed. Ek is bly. Vandag my taal opmaak, dat ek my taal kan hoor. Ja.
Ek wil net aan alle jong mense sê, moenie jou erfenis, jou taal vergeet nie. Doen altyd net die beste vir jou taal, jou kultuur. En ek wil ook die jong mense vra en ook die land wil ek vra om my te help om my ouma se taal lewend te hou. Happy Heritage Month. Happy Heritage Days, the last few days of Heritage. Over to you, my brother.
Yeah, what the Queen was saying, Mama Katrina was saying, during the apartheid regime, because of the oppression, she couldn't talk about the language. It was a burden. It was something very destructive to her, and it's something that she feels that everything was taken from her because of not speaking a mother tongue. It was like normally when they get, she had to learn Afrikaans, which is also not her language. It's some foreign language that was put in front of her, and that in a very psychological manner make her feel very dishuman. But because of this new government and Heritage Month, the heritage has been inaugurated. She now got a voice in her own mother tongue, in her own language. And therefore, she's so much grateful for the South African government, for the new transition of this new government, what she has done. The government that brought back a dignity, a humanity, is the person of giving her her own rights, her own benefits, as in her own culture. And hence she wants to say and set out to the world. Don't follow the things out there. Hang on to your culture, hang on to your tradition, hang on to your beliefs. And she's very grateful for God for everything that she does. And for art, sports, arts and culture that really supported her through all these years. She's now met other people that she can speak with and try and talk with in her own language. She's very much satisfied now as an elderly people, as someone, and she's very grateful. Thanks so much from the side of the Royal House under the leadership of Queen Katrina Isu. May God bless her all the time. We are grateful as a nation. We are grateful as the people of South Africa in the Northern Cape specifically for what she's standing for and being nominated as a world treasure. We respected her and love her so much. I believe God will keep her for some long time with us. Thanks so much for the opportunity, art and culture. Thanks for the South African government under the leadership of President Cyril Ramaphosa for opening up Heritage Month for United Nations to recognize the indigenous languages and cultures in the world and giving us, the new people, an opportunity for restoration because people are wounded. They are carried with a lot of burdens, but now that they have their voice back, they can stand up with boldness and say, thanks. Now we can start the journey again. We can start to transform bit by bit and creating bit by bit the opportunities, generations to come. Thanks so much.
Ayo.
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 Thank you very much, Queen Katrina and the family and the royal household. We as the government, that's why we decided that when we talk about celebrating living human treasures, you are one of those. And we want you to know that South Africa will always, under this government, make sure that we are united, everybody is respected equally, and social cohesion will be our base. And nobody is smaller than the other. And I want you to take this opportunity to say to you, you do not know what we have done for the people of Northern Cape and Uppington in particular, because you've made them to actually feel like they are human beings again. We really appreciate you are our heritage. When we talk heritage, we talk, amongst other things, Queen Katrina. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yes, Tobek.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much, Mama Queen Katrina and the entire Royal House. Ma'am, we are now going to wrap up. So before we wrap up, like all our guests to say their last words to the viewers.
They have said already, but not all. No, Tobeka, you're not gonna. Queen Katrina has already said her last words.
Mm-hmm.
So what we need to do now is to go to
Claudia.
Yes, let's go to Claudia so that we don't get cut off by the time, because Mama Katrina has also said her appreciations and the family had said their appreciations. So let's go to Claudia. Yeah. Claudia from Spain.
Yes, I'm sorry, I was cut off for a while. The internet didn't work.
Even me, I was cut off for a while. Don't worry.
Oh, I see. I didn't know. I didn't know what was going on. Okay. Oh dear. But anyway, I'm delighted that Heritage Month is being celebrated. And it is so important to remember the past cultural heroes, the current cultural heroes, and to be aware also of society's problems, the conflicts, and to to photograph, perhaps for posterity, a lot of the things that are happening today. We must not always look back at the past, but look at the present. And one of the projects that we did was looking at farm issues, the conditions on farms in South Africa. We did that in 2007. I don't think things have changed much, but there were such very serious social issues like farm evictions and women on the problems women are having on farms. Very, very important issues, which are still going on. We also looked at the poverty gap in Johannesburg, which is very big, and the social problems. So I think one should always be aware of documenting what is going on now, and always be aware of the social injustices and human rights today.
Thank you very much, Claudia. Just for you to know that as we celebrate the living human treasures and those that are no longer with us, we actually see Uncle Yechen as one of our human treasures. And I wanted you to know that.
That's very kind. Thank you very much.
Yes, we wanted you to know that.
That's
Thank you very much. We can never underplay the role that he has played into the culture of this country and into the heritage. So he will remain one of our treasures. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes.
He says thank you too if he was here.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you so much. Yes, Tobeka.
Nonhlanhla.
I also feel like I've said my goodbyes in a way.
Yes.
So thank you for
the only thing that is important for you, Nonhlanhla, is that we will meet. I'll arrange with Tobeka at some point that we will meet and discuss how we can also, help her, give you a helping hand in the project that you're looking at for going to New York. I think it's a very important issue. We will see what we can do as well.
Thank you so much. It means a lot.
Yes. Okay. Tobeka, is Gwez still here?
Yes, ma'am, she's still here. She even smiling at you.
Oh, is that so? So
Yes.
She must say her last words, and then she must also remember that she must go and see Gogo Esther and tell Gogo Esther that we love her very, very, very much. And tell Gogo Esther that Yena Gwez is here because of Gogo Esther. Otherwise, Gogo Esther is supposed to be the one that is here. So she must, I just want her to say her last words.
Ngiyathokoza ma deputy minister. Ene kube akusingugogo bengekhe ngibe la, bengekhe ngikhulume now.
Not at
we
all.
We should be honest about that. Thank you so much for team yonke ngiyabonga coordinator usesithobeka ma deputy siyathokoza kakhulu ngaphansi kwesandla saka Dr. Esther Mahlangu emthambothini ngaphansi kwe Dr. Esther Mahlangu Foundation ugogo uyabonga ugogo uyathokoza uthokoza ukuzala izandla zombili from emnyangweni wezobukhwari namasiko nationally uthokoza isupport enimnikela yona emnyangweni wezobukhwari ku-region uthokoza kangako ukubambisana kwethu nani sizokuya phambili angekhe sikhohlwe imvelaphi yethu ngoba siyithanda ngoba sifuna ukuthi sifundise abanye abantu ukugwala izandla zekhaya zivulekile omunye nomunye angeze ekhaya azokufunda
siyathokoza. Just remember as you leave, I don't have the Ndebele attire, so just remember that.
Okay.
Thank you. Over to you. Yes.
Okay, ma'am, thank you. We've got one comment from Uvatiswa Khuselo. Uti Uvatiswa, may Yagen's soul rest in peace. Uvatiswa, she's one of the people who really assisted to get hold of Claudia, to communicate with her. And we also like to thank everybody who participated today and those that made sure that this program is happening. And ma'am, I really want to thank your office. Your office is very supportive, very supportive. Thank you so much. Izibongo zami zininzi. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You are the mother that we need in our space. Thank you so much. And then can we all wave to our Facebook viewers and say bye-bye to them?
And happy Heritage Month, the last few
Thank
days
you.
of it, enjoy and learn more about your heritage. Thank you.
Thank you. And it was indeed a heritage program. We all had our indigenous languages, so which is quite humbling. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you.